Hey y'all, before the video starts, I just want to say that I know the balance changes dropped for Season 1, and unfortunately I was not able to finish this video beforehand. So below each of my suggested change, the actual balance change will show, so feel free to compare it to my suggested change, and enjoy the video. In Marvel Rivals, there are a lot of broken heroes, and a lot of really weak heroes. So for this video, I want to look at how I would like to see these characters buffed or nerfed. Keep in mind this whole video is my personal opinion, and none of this should be taken seriously. I'm not a games designer, so all the numbers given may be way too high or way too low. Please let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with these changes, and what changes you would like to see within Marvel Rivals, and enjoy the video. Doctor Strange is by far the best Vanguard in the game, and due to his high HP, shield, teleport, and large damage potential, I believe he needs to be toned down. So for some basic changes, I propose a 100 to 200 HP nerf to his shield to make it a bit easier to take down and less frustrating to fight against. And either a nerf to the damage of his Maelstrom of Madness ability, or nerf to the amount of dark magic you build up when hitting a shot to help tone down his insane damage output. For his teleport, I propose that instead of it being on a 180-second cooldown, you get one charge of it per match, and you can't use it again. This will make tracking the portal much easier, and on top of that, remove the ability to block the spawn doors directly, and nerf the duration by 5 seconds to 15 seconds of teleport uptime. I think even with these changes, Strange will still be strong, but will be much more bearable to fight against. Hulk would be easy. I don't believe he as a character needs to be touched in any way, but his team up with Iron Man does need to be toned down. I'd say nerf the damage bonus given to Iron Man by at least 50% to still make it a viable option, but not as oppressive. Groot, I believe, does too much area denial with his walls, and on top of that, they give him so many bonuses, like the Iron Wall will give you extra overhealth as you deal damage, and the small ones deal damage to nearby enemies as you deal damage. I like their properties, but I do think they do a bit too much, and the Iron Wall needs to be put on a 2 to 3 second longer cooldown, and the smaller walls should take an extra 1 to 2 seconds longer to recharge as well, just to make it less spammable and more skill based. Magneto is just a really good space creator, and I actually really like him in the meta, but to tone him down a bit, I would increase the cooldown of his shield by 1 to 2 seconds, just so he can't spam it out as often, and just to make him slightly easier to take down and not as annoying to play against. And to finish off the Vanguard section and end it with the only hero that I really want to see buffed, I think we need to talk about Captain America. He just doesn't do enough damage, so I think we should increase his shield damage by 50%, going from 40 to 45 damage to 60 to 65. This will also apply to his dash and slam, and this should help him feel like he has some kill power without going over the top. Also, to make him feel better to play, I say reduce the cooldown of the dash and slam by 2 seconds so you can use them a bit more often to engage and disengage, and remove that stupid 1 second cooldown on the shield so you can use it very consistently. With those buffs, hopefully Cap should be feeling a lot better to play. Even when she gets the season bonus removed, will still be super oppressive, and because of that, she needs to be toned down. There are a lot of routes they could go, but I think they should just reduce her damage from 70 to 50 on a body shot. This will make a huge impact on her damage, and she will no longer be able to 2-tap headshot most squishy targets, making the counterplay a bit better with her. And on top of that, they need to reduce the explosion damage from her ultimate. It should be reduced from 125 to 100, making it take 1 extra shot to kill the squishies and giving them extra time to escape. With these changes, Hela won't be the squishy killer that she once was, but it will make her more skillful because it's now more important for you to hit your headshots. And so, therefore, her skill ceiling will be higher and she won't be as annoying to fight against. Black Panther has super high damage and mobility with his dash refreshes. I think a good start in the right directions to nerf him would be to increase the cooldown of the spear from 6 to 8 seconds, so Panther won't be able to cycle through dashes as well. Also, reduce the damage of the dash from 80 to 60 to 70, so it isn't as easy for him to combo squishies and just fly across the map doing insane damage. Honestly, I feel like these changes would tone him down a lot and still make him a viable pick. Star-Lord is super solid right now and is pretty insane what a skilled player can do with him, making him super oppressive in the right hands. I think they should reduce the damage of his bullets from 6.5 to 6 so he can't one-clip squishies instantly, and instead he either has to use one of his abilities or have his team follow up. And also, have his ult fall off start between 15 to 20 meters instead of 25 meters, so he has to come in a bit closer to deal max damage, making it slightly easier to take him out while he's in the sky, so adding a bit more counterplay there. This will allow Star-Lord to be more careful on who he chooses to dive and when he uses his ult, since there will be a bit more counterplay rather than him just annihilating your team from afar with his ult and annihilating your squishies on the flank. Storm is honestly so forgotten and needs some love. In terms of her ultimate, let's not touch that for now, but focus more on her main kit. First off, let's increase her fall off range from 15 meters to 25 meters with max fall off at 30% at 40 meters. So she is able to stay airborne while doing good damage. I don't want to touch the actual damage of her wind projectile, since with the damage boost it could make it way too powerful. On top of that, let's increase the damage of her team up shot with Thor from 50 to 80, so it actually does decent damage and doesn't hit like a wet noodle. I think these changes should help her be able to be a more consistent damage dealer from the air, while not making her too overwhelming to deal with, kind of like the Iron Man team up with Hulk. Not much of a Psylocke player, and I don't normally have too many problems with her main gimmick since her spread is super high, but that ult range is way too far. I think either reduce the ult range of it by 25% or don't allow Psylocke to move while in the ult will be good changes. I also do think her damage is a bit too high, so the damage of each shuriken should be reduced from 12 to 10, so it takes her an extra shot to take out those squishies and giving them a bit more time to react to her rather than them just instantly getting obliterated. Really hate Moon Knight, and I feel like he can be shut down, but the amount of area control he provides with his onks is way too much and provides a playstyle that is stupid. I think the cooldown for the onk should be increased from 12 to 15 seconds so Moon Knight players aren't encouraged to just spam shots at the onk and hope it kills the team. And also reduce the health so that all 80 damage attacks can one-shot it. I know a lot of people won't agree and say Moon Knight is weak, but this is my list and this is my opinion, so fuck off. On to another character I really hate, the Punisher. First off, let him be CC'd while ulting him while in turn, so there is some counterplay there, and so when you hear Judge, Jury, Executioner, you can do something about it. Also, the turn's health should be reduced by 100. It's stupid, like he'll just sit in there and I can't really do much damage from afar to it, because he'll be standing like 40 meters away and I can't really do much damage because of fall off. Honestly, just the CC alone should allow a lot more counterplay against him, and it won't kill him. Like, he'll still be a good pick in the meta, but just not as annoying when I can't CC him when he's using those two stupid abilities. For Widow, I know that she badly needs a buff, but I don't want to touch her damage since I think one-shot headshots would be too toxic, and it would just push her to an extreme level that nobody wants. So let's just start with increasing her reload speed so it's 1 round per second, just to help her out a bit, so she can deal a bit more damage a bit faster, but she's gonna need more tuning in the future. It's obvious with this sort of character. Scarlet Witch is a hard one since in lower ranks she is actually really good due to them not knowing how to play against her, but in higher elo she gets shut down super easily. Even with the smart plays that can be done with her, with our hero abilities like Strange TP, she just isn't worth playing. I think her ult should take 1 second less to charge up, making it a bit easier to take enemies off guard with it, taking the same time to detonate as a Diva Bomb in Overwatch. And also as a nice little buff, her burst projectiles should do 40 damage instead of 30 damage to make it slightly easier to finish off targets with them. This should help Wanda a bit, but I don't think she will be played in higher elos unless drastic changes are made to her kit and abilities. Hawkeye is just busted. Even when the season pass was removed, he still will be a huge problem and does way too much. First off, his Hunter Vision passive, the one that charges up his arrows, should be nerfed so the max damage is 60, not 80, so he can no longer one-shot squishy targets. On top of that, his ultimate duration should go from 10 seconds down to 7 seconds, so he can't just be a machine gun firing out 260 damage headshots for too long. These changes should help tone him down while still making him a good pick for players who master him. I still foresee him being really good and still being a must ban, but this will at least allow him to be much less oppressive. Mantis really needs to be toned down. Her damage output is just way too high, and when playing her, it feels like playing a DPS with a passive heal ability. I'd say add a fall off starting at 20 meters and reducing her damage by 30% at the max range of 30 meters. This will force her to play a bit closer to the fight rather than poking targets from afar and really just killing targets from a long distance. Also, reduce the amount of leaves given from a headshot from 1 to half a leaf, so it's so rewarding to do headshots, but not as game-changing. Also, a slight reduction to the speed given with this passive, and Mantis will still be good, but just slightly more balanced. More work will probably need to be done to her. Luna is by far the best support in the game right now, mainly due to her game-breaking ultimate. This ultimate is by far the best in the game and needs a huge nerf due to its high healing output and high damage boost. I believe that the ultimate duration needs to go down by a lot, from 12 seconds to 7 seconds as proposed. This will make the invincibility less oppressive and less of a worry for the team, while still keeping Luna's viability and still making her a very good support hero. I think this will be a great start in nerfing her. Rocket needs a buff and a nerf in my opinion. One to his basic kick, and one to his team up. First off, let's buff his damage from 16 to 18 per bullet, just to give it some more power and increase his healing from orbs by 10. This includes to himself and his teammate. This should help Rocket feel slightly more impactful in the game. For the team up, I think it needs a nerf. I think the beacon he drops for the Punisher and Bucky should be able to be killed with a health pool of 300 HP. When he places that beacon, it really feels like there's not much counterplay, so by doing this, this will allow teams to coordinate and to take that out, and will punish Rocket for positioning it badly, similar to how he is punished with the BRB when he positions it badly because your team can take it out. These changes will make Rocket feel a lot better to play with and against on your team. And that, my friends, are all the balance changes I want to see coming this season. As I'm recording this, I know the balance changes dropped, and some of my suggestions carried over, but most of the nerfs to Hela and Hawkeye aren't going to do much to them, and they're still going to be broken. And also, some of the buffs were unnecessary, like the Cloak and Dagger and such, but honestly, that's for a video for another day. Please let me know what you think of this in the comments below, and let me know some of the changes you want to see in the game in the comments below. But thank you so much for making it this far in the video. If you enjoyed, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It'll help me out a lot, and I hope you all have an amazing day. Bye!